you can tell for a Disney character, you know what I'm saying? Jake from Disney, you could tell Jake can fight, bro. Jake look, and he came in shape.
He can dance with people who said that they can't dance with. Like people
That
like
boy can dance with anybody. Stop playing.
like
That boy was hitting the fucking heavy bag. Like it
that's
was
all
easy
Bell
work.
was.
I got a problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got tools, you could call them boy crap. Man, this gang got rules, man, you better watch your passes. This ain't not new.
What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. This is the motherfucking Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club is always go down, like, and subscribe. Second rule is to go fuck yourself. And as always, these are your hosts for the Fight Club. I'm Paul, Pick and Win 'em Contra, the Sports Encyclopedia, and also the Drunk Gambler. Who's with me?
You already know, man. It's that boy Kev. I love to fight the boy. You feel me? And we in this bitch for the big dogs talking big boxing shit, YouTube style.
What's going on, boys? It's prime time Marcus, man. Stop playing. Let's get into the King Jake.
Shit, we got
Jake.
the fucking. They didn't even sell it as a boxing card. They sold it as a fight spectacle, and it definitely was a spectacle because it was fun to watch. Do y'all want to start the undercard with Hall and Bell, or do y'all want to go Paul and Silva first?
Tell me about Hall and Bell, kid, because I've been meaning to rewatch the card because I was asleep for this. I literally woke up right in time for Jake Paul and Anderson Silva. So what the fuck happened? Did somebody get slept?
Nah, Hall does work. It was a 4-round fight, so it was real quick. And Hall won the unanimous decision. And honestly, I thought he just kept his set down here the whole time, just kept walking forward. So Bell would land a couple nice counters here and there. But Hall was, you could just tell one did combat sports. And like this, the amount of, like, he just keep a set down here and walk up and not even try to knock him out. Just hit him with some simple connections, keep walking forward, not get hit.
That boy was hitting the fucking heavy bag.
That's all Bell was.
Yeah, damn.
That shit was, I mean, it was a spectacle, but it wasn't nothing too crazy. And the only thing that was kind of dope was when Le'Veon Bell hit him with a counter right hand that wobbled his ass. Hall felt that bitch.
You think Le'Veon is gonna fight again?
I think so, especially if he sticks with Jake Paul. We'll see him sprinkled around here and there probably.
Right, so this sorry ass can't get back in the NFL.
They'll find it, like, I feel like instead of another like MMA fighter or something, they'll get him another former, like him versus Ocho Cinco maybe, or like they'll get him another NFL player.
Right. Damn, Le'Veon versus Chad. Damn, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, or Brandon Marsh. Or like there's a few. These guys got to get the right weight class because I think Le'Veon fought at 200, and I don't know if Ocho Cinco's flowing around at 2. He probably is, but I'm not sure. But shit, 4 rounds. I mean, I can't say it was exciting. We kind of just went through them like hot butter. Hot knife through butter. Then the GOAT, the main eventer, the one that literally, I mean, if y'all saw the crowd, there weren't many people in that motherfucker, but for the people that showed up, that's who they came for. And Jake Paul getting an unanimous decision over Anderson Silva, even scored a knockdown, I think in like the 6th round or something. Like he was looking good.
Hey man, like I've been preaching, bro. Obviously he's not gonna win no fucking belt, bro. We know that. But I've been saying, bro, let this man just work in the gym with the people that he needs to be working with, and he's gonna get better. Just like any of us would be in the gym, you're gonna get better naturally. And Jit has gotten better from his first fight, from his second fight, third fight, whatever. From this fight, you could tell he's gotten better. He obviously is not no fucking world-class fighter. He's not going to go out there and compete against the top guys or whatever, but you can tell for a Disney character, you know what I'm saying, Jake from Disney, you could tell Jake can fight, bro. Jake look, and he came in shape. His conditioning looked good. His jab, he was working the body. Like, he looked good. And shout out Silva, man, for a 50-year-old to be moving like that. Shout out that boy.
Nah, Silva looked great in my opinion. I really feel Jake Paul, he's taking He takes his training serious. But even if you hate on him, whatever, because I saw the knockdown slow down, and I was like, oof, Anderson, you can't be giving those up like that. Like the stuff that he gets off on, he gets a little stuff, but he kept his power, and his coach in the corner kept him pushing hard, going hard. Like he was catching Anderson Silva. Because the only time Anderson Silva was really working his ass was like, on the ropes. He had him kind of stuck in the corner. So like keeping it down, keeping it in the middle of the ring, I really respect Jake Paul. But I'm gonna let Paul take his take on this. But Mike Tyson made a very great point about these things.
That they get them YouTube motherfuckers are saving boxing right now. But I mean, I didn't think Jake Paul had the speed.
Nobody.
Jake Paul definitely had the speed. Like, and Anderson Silva didn't look bad. He definitely, you can tell he's been training. You can tell he took this fucking seriously. He went in there and thought himself that he could beat Jake Paul. A lot of people thought he could beat Jake Paul. I thought he could if he had the speed advantage. I thought Jake Paul might be stuck in mud, one hit KO artist type of guy. But he showed that he could dance with anybody, not anybody, but he can dance with people who said that they can't dance with. Like people,
that
like,
boy can dance with anybody. Stop playing.
Like on Tapology, 60% of the people pick Silva to win versus 40 for Jake Paul. So I know the narrative now after the fight's gonna be like, oh, Jake Paul's beating up CTE fighters. Oh, everyone thought he should have won. It's like, well, 60% of people on the Tapology didn't think he was gonna win. Like he's like, you can't change that narrative. Like
they do that every fight, bro. Because you go back to the Tyron Woodley fight, and I'm pretty sure people was even trying to say Ben Askren was gonna beat Jake Paul. So like everyone be picking against Jake Paul until he wins, and then they make the excuse like, oh, it's not even a boxer or whatever they want to say.
Hey, he said it in his interview, like, because one thing I do respect about Jake Paul is that he's doing this and he's feeding the narrative that, yo, chase your dreams, bro. Like, I'm fighting on Showtime right now, and I'm a former Disney star. Like, and I'm fighting on Showtime. These are people's dreams. And the only reason why he gets the amount of hate I think he does is, one, because he's easy to hate on. Two, he doesn't have the most likable personality. Three, the shit talk he talks is real. He talks real shit. And then four, motherfucking people want to be in his position. Like, this man is spending Saturday night like Lomachenko and they're doing the Lomachenko card early so that way they can make sure that main event ends before their main event starts. You feel me? Like, you gotta respect what the fuck you got going on. And I'm gonna keep it. Fuck, if it wasn't for that, when I see the people that are watching boxing now, it's not because they know that we have a boxing. They tune in the podcast. They're tuning in because they seen Jake Paul and now they want to act like they know about boxing. They want to keep watching more. And was watching Jake Paul and was watching Tank. You feel me? Those are the biggest draws right now.
Low key.
Yeah, and I don't know what the pay-per-view numbers did or the ticket at so we'll get those numbers later in the year, but I just know he is bringing young. Like, boxing was like either you got into boxing or you didn't. And post the Floyd era, it wasn't really like I know there was Bud and there was Canelo and there's big Wilders.
There wasn't that flashy name that had the people really.
The champion, being the champion of the world in boxing wasn't that big of a deal come like 2010. Like it was a big deal in the boxing world, but you weren't on fucking weedy boxes. You weren't the biggest star. You weren't a household name like LeBron James. Like you're not. It's not the same. So like with Jake Paul, you're bringing in millions of young generation people that are now going to be watching boxing for the next 10 to 15 years because they follow Jake Paul.
Also, the fucking. That boy is got fucking all bunch of TikTokers and YouTubers all doing their own little boxing events, and like every YouTuber or TikToker wants to be a boxer now because they see you can make money in it. And they seen what Jake Paul is doing, bro, and that boy's doing shit on a whole nother level compared to what the other influential or whatever the fuck you want to call them fighters or whatever. So that boy Jake Paul doing big shit, bro, and I fuck with that, bro. Like he fucks with boxing like genuinely. So like, man, that shit's real. So that's why I fuck with him.
And you can say he's never fought a boxer thing, but like, what is a boxer? You feel me? Is a boxer somebody that does boxing, that practices the art of boxing? Is a boxer motherfucking somebody that's been in the gym since they were 4 years old? Is boxer somebody that came from a long line of boxing? But regardless what you call it, he tried. Like he said in an interview, bitch, I tried. Like. Like he tried to get the boxer, it didn't work. So he's gonna do what continues to make money and continues to make sales and continues to be a sure thing. Like he called out Nate Diaz. He did a little too much calling out Canelo, but that's his brand. You feel me? So like you gotta respect it, because if you don't like it, but you gotta respect it.
Yeah, me and Mark hit on that when the picks episode of like, yeah, in the boxing world, it'd be better if he fought some older vet boxer who's a former champion and has like 40 fights under his belt. But that's not going to sell tickets. Like the average Joe don't know who the fuck this guy was, but they do know who Anderson Silva is. They know who this person is. Like you can't sell, like, yeah, he's kind of trying to balance two worlds right now. His profile and image and trying to break into the boxing world. But like, you're not going to bring in these no-name fighters that actually do have boxing experience, because they're not going to sell tickets. They're not going to.
And then also, why would he bring in a top-tier world-class fighter for him to just lose or look or get embarrassed and lose out on a bunch of money when he could just kind of wait on that?
Sixth pro fight technically or something like that. So
yeah,
like,
so
what
like,
else are other
what
pro fighters doing in their sixth fight?
Exactly. Like obviously those level fighters are still on a different level, but still, like, if you put it in perspective, bro, like he's still only in his sixth fight. Like give him some time to work. He's only been boxing 2 years now, maybe 3.
And that's the thing. Like these fighters that are on their sixth fight and they will go on to be world talent and all that stuff. And their sixth fight, they're fighting an old former world champion, maybe, that had 40 pro fights and all that.
Not
He's older
even
now.
like the guys like who you just talking about, fucking Ali.
But they have the luxury of being on the undercard, whereas Jake Paul has to be the main event on all his cards. So like he doesn't have the luxury to be able to go fight these nobodies. It's like he has to find someone that's gonna fill the main event name slot. Like he can't go fight these nobodies and look and hone his skills.
Facts. And then how can you work on your skills and sharpen your tools when you fighting world champs and fucking like, like the top tier guys? He still got to work his way up there. Well, you know what I'm saying? Slowly build your way up, if he even gets to that level and if he wants to. But, there's still a ladder you got to climb. You can't jump steps, man.
Hey, Jake Paul knocked out Edgar Berlanga.
Hey, man, that could be some work, bro. Even though that sounds crazy, bro. But I don't know, bro. But I don't know. I gotta see Jake Paul's chin. I haven't seen his chin tested, and Berlanga could probably still crack his ass.
Berlanga bite his ass.
You hear that shit?
Nah, man, but you gotta, because at the end of the day, nobody really tripped when Floyd put a MMA fighter 50-0 to go 50-0. Like nobody really tripped about that. He's just doing this. He's doing this because he's not, and somebody's been boxing since they were his own. So you got to respect the business, and you got to respect that he's bringing people to boxing. And we're gonna see in 10 years when there's like five ass white boys out of nowhere, we're gonna be like, oh, they was watching Jake Paul.
Some white boys with
nicknamed the chosen
tattoos.
one and everything.
Yeah, man, the problem child.
But it was a good card. I mean, at the end of the day, people can hate on Silva for being old, but this is definitely a step up from the last fight and the fight before that. Like he's progressive. Like that was a good fight. He won decisively.
He got the knockdown he needed. He got the dub, and that's really all I can really look for, bro. And shit, I'm gonna be interested in who Jake Paul looks.
What's up?
What happened?
Do you guys know what the scorecards were? Because I remember just watching this fight thinking like this is probably impossible to score. Until he had that knockdown, I felt like it could have went either way.
I could tell you right now. I know it was unanimous. I don't think it was too close. Let me see.
I was seeing this shit.
I'm seeing everyone's personal scorecards.
But yeah, I put a lot of respect, because like them boys thugged it out and thumped. Like that was a nice little thump.
All right, here's the official scorecard. Jake Paul 78-73, Jake Paul 77-74, Jake Paul 78-73. And then
so he won every round.
Yeah, I know there was like Silva won like 1 or 2 rounds on their cards out of an 8-round fight. So yeah, it was pretty decisive in their eyes apparently that he won.
Nice. Hey, man, there it goes. But yeah, man, I'm hoping to see who he fights next. Probably going to be Nate Diaz because that's the next money fight. Nate Diaz got out the UFC to get this money fight.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. And then after Diaz, there might be another big name former athlete that he can go up against. And then I do think down the line he will fight a Joe Smith or something. There's a former something that this happens to be like, oh, I'm fine. Like I feel like Jake Paul, after getting 5 to 7 years of boxing experience, and then these guys are coming off of former championship runs, all that blasé, and they're older. He might go in the ring with them boys, and then we'll start seeing a new age of him.
Yeah, imagine Jake Paul in what year 2025. If he still can take in boxing serious like he's doing right now, how could you not say he's gonna be good? You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna be good, bro. Like
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think he's in it for a long game. I think he's really I think he's taking his training serious, but I think he also understands that this is not the best way to make millions of dollars. I feel like he's doing it now because it's hot, it works, and like creating a trend, and now everybody wants to be YouTube boxers. But I think after he kind of runs through his opponents, he might fight like one boxer just to create the narratives and stuff. I think after like maybe like 2, 3, I don't see him doing more than 5 fights. I'm not gonna lie to you. Especially he's doing like 2 a year. And yeah, I don't like him to do more than 5 fights after this. Just because he understands that getting punched in the head is not the best way to make $1 million.
If he does more than 10 fights or more than 12, then that'd be crazy, bro. I'd be shocked.
But I don't see him doing more than 10. Definitely not more than 10.
His ass should go host, and like after he's done with boxing, be the new host and bring back the show. If y'all remember back in the day, the pros versus the Joes.
Oh,
and have Jake Paul being the host of that.
The pros versus the Joes.
And he'd be like, I have a 12-0 record in boxing. I maybe the Cincinnati Bengals sign him for like a 1-day shit. And then he gets like, I was former enough. You know, he starts like flexing like all the side missions he's done in his career.
What if this is just the beginning story of Jake Paul?
How old is Jake Paul?
He's only like 24, 25.
He's our age. Like he's probably
like 24, 25. All right. Now, for some reason, I thought he was like 28, but 24, 25.
Logan's like 28 or some shit.
Oh, but yeah. So man, he still is young as hell. Fuck yeah.
What if this is the beginning story, man? What if Jake Paul ends up going like 35-0, becomes the WBC champ?
God damn.
Boy, got 2 belts on him. Everybody selling out the MGM. He's 33 years old in his prime. We like, damn, we really just seen that shit.
We saw it.
You know, Tupac said, hey, I might not be the one to change the world, but maybe I know one day I'll spark the mind that does. I feel like that's going to be a Jake Paul. Like, I might not be the one to be the white boy from Ohio to win a championship. I'm going to spark the mind that does. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah, what if he doesn't do that, but he ends up becoming like a crazy 5 boxing coach?
All right, he's a promoter though. I mean, he has that.
Not coach, but like you know how he got the Furies with like his daddy wasn't good. His daddy was a jobber, but next thing you know, Peter Fury is like one of the best boxing coaches. Like he has world champion people underneath him, and it's like what if the Pauls next thing you know are like the cornerman for like it's just like the Paul families now, like how the Russell like they have like families of boxing generations. Like I would have shit my brains if the Pauls become an integral part of boxing.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I'll shit my. If that boy Jake Paul wins any type of like serious boxing fight, that should be wild.
It's gonna be great.
But shit, this has been another great episode. Totally blitz. We were kind of going ham because the spectacles go crazy on the weekends. But fucking Jake Paul getting the dub over Anderson Silva, Uriah Hall getting the dub over Le'Veon Bell. Been a great week of boxing. Stay tuned for this weekend. We got the NFL picks, we got the UFC picks, the boxing picks coming up, Bivol versus Ramirez. So stay tuned. Tony Bliss gonna be busy, and as always, if y'all didn't know, now y'all know, motherfuckers.
Bitch.
Passing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been.